How you doing, guys, and welcome to another Dark Souls video where I'll be playing Dark Souls Remastered. In this video, I'll be taking on one of the most high profile bosses in all of Dark Souls history, Ornstein and Smough. Now, for this fight, I'm going to be talking you through my tips and which one I would recommend killing first. The reason I would recommend killing a certain one first is because whichever one you kill first, you will have a chance to get their armor later on. Now, Smough is the big fat one with the huge hammer, whereas Ornstein is the slimmer one with the spear, and whichever one you kill first, you will have a chance of getting the opposite one's armor. For example, if you kill Ornstein first, then you will have a chance of getting Smough's armor later on in the game, but if you kill Smough's first, then you will have a chance of getting Ornstein's armor later on in the game. So it's your choice whichever you do first, but I think it goes without saying. I mean, let's be realistic here. Who would want to have Smough's armor? I mean, look at him. He's just so big and fat. Who the hell would want to walk around for the rest of the game wearing that? However, look at Ornstein's armor. It's so damn sexy, I think I may have just shot out a little bit of ceaseless discharge of my own. Okay, so on to the actual boss fight itself, and this boss is split in between two stages. The first stage you'll be fighting Ornstein and Smough at the same time, and I think it goes without saying, but Smough, the bigger fat one, is incredibly slow but incredibly powerful. Ornstein, on the other hand, because he's much slimmer, is incredibly fast, so this could cause you a lot of problems if you let it. Obviously, based on everything I said before, I would strongly recommend taking out Smough first. However, I must warn you, during the second stage of a fight, whoever you kill first will be absorbed by the opposite character left alive. For example, if I was to kill Ornstein first, then Smough would absorb his power, turn into a giant and even more powerful, and the same thing for the opposite one. And this is where my warning comes in. You see, Smough in his second stage is much easier to defeat than Ornstein in his second stage. So if you wanted an easier fight, I would recommend killing Ornstein in this first stage. However, if you wanted Ornstein's incredibly sexy armor, then I would definitely recommend killing Smough in this first stage. It's completely up to you. Now, there isn't really many tips I can give you for this stage in the fight. I mean, after all, because both of them are coming at you at the same time, chances are most people will have a different experience. I mean, some people could whack away at one while the other one just stays at a distance, but if unfortunately you're as lucky as I am, they could both be coming at you at the same time, and it will make your chance of getting hit incredibly hard. My best piece of advice is just to try and lure them away as best you can, and then only focus on one of them. It's pointless taking them both on, because no matter who is left alive will get a full health bar after this stage, so only focus on taking out one at a time. As you can see, because I killed Smough first, Ornstein has just absorbed his power and become really fucking giant. And this, in my opinion anyway, is where the real battle begins. Now, when fighting giant Ornstein, there are two major moves that you must be careful of. The first move, of course, is when he jumps up into the air and creates sort of like a shock lightning air of effect when he slams down. This move can hit incredibly hard, so I strongly recommend, as soon as you see him jumping up into the air, you back away as quickly as possible. Don't even try and block with a shield unless you have a shield equipped, which can deflect the majority of lightning damage. And the second move you have to worry about is when he charges up his spear and lunges it forward just like that. The reason that's so dangerous is because if it does grab you, then you'll be locked into a grabbing attack and it will do serious damage. Luckily though, it's incredibly easy to dodge. He sort of stands back and charges spear up first, and there's about a second or two delay before he lunges it forward, so you always know this move's coming. It gives you plenty of time. One thing that I would recommend is when he's doing this, don't try and roll away or to the left or right of his spear because he could follow through with it. Instead, when you see him charging up his spear, roll forward through the lunge and it should never hit you. Now, just because these two moves are without a doubt his most dangerous, it does not mean that any of his other moves can't do just as much damage. If you get too far away from Ornstein, then he will sort of charge at you from the opposite end of the arena, and this could make healing extremely difficult. To try and combat this, I would recommend staying as close to Ornstein as possible. That way, he will mainly only do two moves at you. The first being the grabbing move that he does right there, and the second being the moves where he jumps up. Even though these are his two most dangerous moves, they're also the easiest to dodge, so I would recommend staying as close to him as possible. Other than that, this fight mainly comes down to patience more than anything. As you can clearly see, his health bar is still just above halfway and I have 2 flasks left. However, because I learned his move patterns at this point and followed the exact same tips and advice I've just given you now, I make it throughout the rest of this fight without getting hit once. And if you follow these tips and tricks, then hopefully you'll be able to do the same. And there you have it, guys. Because we defeated Smough first, we will have a chance of getting Ornstein's armor later on, and I'll be making another short video after this one to show you how to do that. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I hope these tips and tricks helped you out. I hope you have an easier time with this fight as I did, and I'll see you next time. Okay, now that Ornstein and Smough's dead, I'm just gonna carry on with the level. I mean, surely there's gotta be something fun here. I just defeated 2 of the most recognisable bosses in this whole game. Surely I'm gonna get some kind of award for it. I'm a little bit disappointed, to be honest. I really thought that those 2 were gonna give me the challenge that I so desperately craved. Oh well, on to the rest of the level. Oh, I wonder what's through this door. Amazing chest ahead. Huh. I wonder what that means. Oh, cool. Look at that big ass statue. Wait a minute. That's not a statue. That's a woman. Wait a minute. Holy shit. Those scratch marks were right. That really is an amazing chest. I think I may have just shot out some more ceaseless discharge.